Hello guys, welcome to Boxing Blog Center, the home of Nigerian African boxing. Please, if you're new to this channel, make sure you click the like and of course the subscribe button right now. We are of course live, and you know tonight I'm going live. We're shutting this place BBC down. Yo Woko. Now, first of all, for those of you guys who've been asking me questions, you know, the coverage, okay, the time coverage. The coverage start times, okay, of Canelo versus Saunders. You know, you can see it on the screen right here. In Los Angeles, it starts by 5 p.m. In Dallas, by 7 p.m. In New York, by 8 p.m. In Bogota, Colombia, 7 p.m. Buenos Aires, Argentina, 9 p.m. Sao Paulo, that's Brazil, 9 p.m. as well. And Sunday, May 09, you know, of course, which is in the morning. It starts by 1 a.m. Okay, 1 a.m. in the UK and in Nigeria, in Lagos. Wow. So you mean Nigeria and UK has the same time now? That's interesting. So we are 1 hour ahead. Okay, in Berlin, Central European time, it starts by 2 a.m. Yeah, in Madrid the same thing, in Rome the same thing, in Paris the same thing, in Johannesburg the same thing. Wow, interesting. Moscow, 3 a.m. Istanbul 3 a.m. New Delhi in India 5 a.m. Andy, where's that? Is that China? China? Yes, 7 a.m. Singapore 8 a.m. Manila, that's Philippines. Manila, Philippines, yeah, 8 a.m. Tokyo 9 a.m. Wow. Sydney, that's Sydney, Australia, 10 a.m. Wellington has to be, is that Australia or New Zealand? I mean, the flag look alike. I don't even know, man. Anyway, 12 o'clock. Yeah, I mean, this is something very interesting right here, and we have to definitely look at it. And of course, the main event. Okay, main event start times in Nigeria 4 a.m. But I'm gonna be live. You know, I'm gonna be going live by 2 a.m. You know, Central European time, and you know already. So hope you all are okay. You all are fine. I'm Ryan, my brother Tajagbe, and we're gonna be discussing this fight right here, Canelo Alvarez versus Billy Joe Saunders, a fight that is very important for boxing. You know, this week we've had so many dramatic I don't know, man, dramatic occurrence, you know, like the Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, you know, saga. And yeah, I watched the weigh-in of Saunders and Canelo Alvarez. This guy Saunders is in a phenomenal shape. I didn't expect. Listen, I wasn't expecting to see that guy in such a tremendous shape. I mean, Billy Saunders. I mean, because the guy, as you know, looked in shape, but lately, you know, he's been, you know, kind of trying to stay in shape, not to because he doesn't want to. I mean, I don't want to use the word, but he doesn't want to be bigger, like fat, you know, in a way. Yeah, but now he's in a different shape, and it's just something that we have to admire. So this reason why this fight is not going to be an easy fight for Canelo. Of course, I'm picking Canelo to win. I think Canelo wins, but that weigh-in showed me something. Saunders is not coming to play, and that's a fact. Tajagbe, what do you make of that? First of all, let's talk about that weigh-in, bro. What do you make of it?
It's an electrifying weigh-in, I would say. You know, Saunders versus Canelo. The fight is gonna be I can't even put it to words. The fight is gonna be electrifying from the first sound of the bell, because we know what to expect from Saunders, and we got to figure out what Canelo is gonna do. You know, this fight can go either a draw, a decision, is how I see it. You know, knocking out Saunders is gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be tough for Canelo. You know, because we all know what Saunders is gonna come in and just come do. You know, we all know what he's gonna do. So that's why I feel like it's gonna be tough. And you know, if what I think Billy Joe is gonna do or Saunders is gonna do, this I just feel like this fight might just end in a draw. You know, but then again, why did Canelo didn't even bother putting a rematch clause in his in his contract? So it tells you Canelo's absolutely he's ready for this. You know, he's either been prepping for Billy Joe Saunders, or he's gonna shut haters up, man. And if he beats Billy Joe Saunders, man, UK fans, I'm sorry, man, you guys are not gonna beat Billy Joe Saunders. So you guys might as well put all your fighters back in the stable and just tell them, don't worry about Canelo, man. We can't beat him. You guys have thrown so many fighters at Canelo, and he's just dispatched them one by one. But I'm looking forward to this fight, though.
Listen, I think the UK fans, of course, will back their own to win, you know, any fight, I guess. But I think a lot of the UK boxing fans and boxing purists, they know that Saunders, there's no way. I don't care what you say. There is no way in hell that Saunders knocks Canelo out. Not happening. Never. Okay,
well, those are the same one that are saying Tyson Fury is gonna knock AJ out. It's like, do you pay attention to boxing, or do you just say what comes out your mouth, bro? Saunders ain't knocking nobody out. Simple.
Well. Regarding the Fury one, I do think Fury. Listen, the reason why Fury has the ability to hurt AJ for sure, because he's a big guy. Okay, and AJ is not known to have this iron chin. You know, AJ has a chin, but not iron chin. I mean, comparing chins, I think Joshua has a stronger chin than Joshua. Just coming from seeing them both, you know, because Joshua has an iron chin. That's a fact, you know. But Joshua was also stopped by this guy right here that got beat by Mati Bakole, Sergey Kuzmin, in the amateurs. So I guess no one really has an iron chin, except if you're EKB Abuchi. So, but heavyweights, anything can happen. But I don't know if Fury will possess enough power to knock Joshua out the way he's, envisioning it in a way. I don't think so, because Joshua is going to see it coming. Joshua is more now of a slick boxer, even though he's a puncher, but he's also very slick and also very technical. Okay, so I don't believe on that in a way though. But Saunders, how hard does he punch, in your opinion, bro? How hard of a puncher is he? Like, just I said, look at Saunders first. Look at Saunders. Look at him. Look at the people he's fought. The Andy Murray fight. Look at the David Lemieux fight. Look at the fight against Chris Eubank Jr., a guy who basically trained himself. Okay, he had no trainer. He trained himself. He was, you understand? So look at people he's fight. You know, how do you assess Saunders' power?
Listen, if Billy Joe Saunders had power, you know, at his age, I honestly believe he would have had a knockout in his last fight. Because if you look at it, at his age, he should have power. Whether he's sitting behind, whether he's sitting behind his punches or he's just he's just flicking his punches, either or. Like even a jab like his, which he has a good jab, should be able to, and the way he moves in different angles, should be able to at least stun his opponents. Billy Joe Saunders doesn't have that, man. So it makes me think, it's either, listen, when guys don't want to sit behind their punches, it tells me one thing: they don't have power. They're afraid to get hit, and that chin is not durable. That's what it tells me when it comes to people who don't sit behind their punches. And Billy Joe is one of them, and I don't think his chin is strong at all. I think if Canelo touches that chin real nice, like he did Triple G, man, he's going to sleep. I'm sorry, he's going to sleep. So he the way he won against Martin Murray, if you had power, if you had power in general, like you'll be trying to dispatch these guys extremely quickly, and he didn't have power. So I just don't think he's gonna be doing any damage to Canelo.
Okay, I know you have your opinion regarding this, but let's say Saunders versus Canelo Smith, who do you see winning that fight? And who do you think punches harder? Are you there, bro? Ty?
Oh, my bad. Yeah. No. I think Callum Smith, I would give it to Callum Smith just a bit, but I would Billy Joe Saunders, I would give him winning that fight just because of the way he fights. I'm not gonna try to take anything away from Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders is an amazing boxer. He's one of the purest boxers in that division. And I personally think, if he had power, he'll be dispatching people rather quickly. But unfortunately, he doesn't. And I like I said, I honestly believe the way he boxes it just fits him more. Some people are not meant to knock out because you just don't have that ability to knock out. Even though I think Callum Smith is a harder puncher than Billy Joe, but Billy Joe could easily outwork Callum Smith easily, just by the way he moves, and that just gives him the edge. He might get a TKO out of it if Billy Joe Saunders decides to push that button and really make his opponent work. Listen, if Billy Joe decides to make Canelo work, really work, give all in that ring and make Canelo really, really work. Billy Joe can get a TKO out of this fight if he decides to work. Not a KO, a TKO. If he decides to work and really push Canelo's button. That's it. That's the way he can win. But if he decides to go in there and decide, I'm just gonna move around and and flick my jabs and work at angles and try to avoid Canelo as much as I can, and still the most important rounds, 5 and 6. It's gonna be a long night for Billy Joe Saunders, and that's what worries about me when it comes to Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo,
Yeah, man. You're definitely right. My Joe, are you with us? Hey.
Hello, bro.
Hello, brother. How you doing, bro?
I'm very well. How you guys?
Yeah, how your side?
I do very well, man. Thank God.
Yeah, it's good, bro. Did you, of course, catch up with weigh-in yesterday? Saunders,
Yeah, I did.
Saunders, Canelo weigh-in. What do you make of everything? Like the card and everything,
The card don't look that great, but the main event is amazing. The main event is amazing. It's gonna be an exciting fight, um, and I'm really looking forward to it. As regards the card, like I said, I'm not very keen, but the main event is gonna be superb. It's gonna be extremely superb. Um, the way in, I think that Billy Joe, I actually like what he's doing so far, what he's done and what he keeps doing in terms of not really showing that much respect, if you know what I mean. He's not being in awe of Canelo. Although I'm sure that inside of him, Billy Joe really, really, really respects Canelo, and I think that he would have a bit of nervousness, which is a good thing. You know, the nervousness is probably going to help him to be careful, um, because what Billy Joe don't want to do is to get himself gassed up, thinking that he's going to be able to do what Tyson Fury did to Deontay Wilder, because I'm sure that Fury will probably be saying something like that to him, you know, that, oh, look at what I did to Wilder. Everyone was talking about Wilder, how Wilder is the greatest puncher and blah, blah, blah. And I went in there and I just literally destroyed him. And I hope that he doesn't have that. Billy Joe is not falling for that. I hope that he's not believing that he will be able to go in there and do to Canelo what Tyson Fury did to Wilder, because Canelo and Wilder are two different fighters. Canelo is actually a good boxer as well. I think that his boxing is, people don't really talk about his boxing, but he's actually a very, very good boxer. Thing for me though is that Canelo is quite established now at 168. I think that Canelo has an upper hand over Billy Joe. And also, you know, the people, I mean, normally in boxing, we usually go by, you know, by your last performance. And the last couple of performances by Billy Joe, I've not been impressed in any way whatsoever. His gas tank don't look great to me. And if he is intending to use his feet and use the ring for the duration of the fight, then his gas tank must be top notch, because if he's going to be running around the ring and his gas tank is not on point, then he's going to be in a whole lot of trouble. And I see Canelo is a bit upset. So that could be a good thing, and it could be a bad thing for Billy Joe, because sometimes when people are upset, they are more, what's the word I'm looking for now? They are game, they're ready. And sometimes when people are upset, they kind of like don't follow their strategy for the fight. So I don't know Canelo's mindset, but I know that Canelo is upset. So that could be a good thing for Billy Joe, and that could be a bad thing as well. But what I know though is that Canelo is very experienced, especially at championship level. I think that's going to be a big thing in this fight. You know, that championship level experience. Canelo has been in loads of them, and Billy Joe hasn't been in a lot of them. Billy Joe hasn't really fought, you know. You can actually handpick the amount or the number of top opposition that Billy Joe has fought. You can literally handpick. You can say his fight against Andy Lee. You can say the Lemieux fight, and you know, I don't know, which maybe his fight against. In fact, I can't really put my hand, or I can't really point to a lot of top-notch fights that Billy Joe has been in. You know, but for Canelo, the list is, oh my God, the list is massive. You know, the amount of people he's been in there with really, really good fighters. You know, Canelo has seen various fighting styles, you know, and he's found a way to overcome them. So my opinion is, what is Billy Joe gonna bring to Canelo that Canelo has not seen before? You know, And then if you switch it the other way, what is Canelo bringing to Billy Joe that has Billy Joe really seen that style before? Has he been in there with somebody of that caliber? Somebody who carries power, somebody who has a solid gas tank, somebody who knows how to cut the ring, somebody who has been in different championship fights. Has Billy Joe really experienced anyone like that? I don't think so. I really don't think so. So I think that when you look at the gap between the both of them, in every area, Canelo has an upper hand. And I think that Billy Joe as well is probably getting gassed right now. I think that when he gets into that ring, the reality of who he's fighting is going to dawn on him. Seriously. Sometimes until you get in the ring, you don't actually know the reality. I think that when he gets punched maybe a few times, he will be like, wow, this is a real fight. I'm in a real fight, because the way I'm looking at it, like I said before, my point is that Canelo has seen Billy Joe's style before, but Billy Joe has not seen Canelo's style. He's not been in there with someone of that caliber, but Canelo has been.
Well, I have to make a case though. The last time Canelo fought a southpaw was over 5 years ago against Lara. So, what makes you think the guy might not? Do you think like I said, more than 5 years ago? Don't you think that will play a part, or does he just need to figure out Billy Joe Saunders?
Well, I think that what Canelo obviously would have been doing, he would have inspiring a lot of southpaws in his, during his training camp. He would have sparred a lot of southpaws, and the fact that, for me, any experience when it comes to boxing and when it comes to anything actually in life, it doesn't matter how long the experience has been. It doesn't matter if it was 5 years ago. He's had that experience. Somewhere at the back of his mind, somewhere in his skill sets, that experience will come in handy. I'm telling you, he's like somebody who knows how to drive a car, and you don't drive a car for 5 years. When you get back in the car and you hold the steering, you still know how to drive. It doesn't matter how long. You get what I'm saying? You may not be as sharp, but you still know how to drive. Canelo has been in there with Lara. He still knows how to fight a southpaw, and for me, it doesn't matter. Even if it was 6 years ago, the most important thing is that he was in there with a very good southpaw, skillful southpaw, and he did the business. For Billy Joe, he has not been in there with someone as solid as Canelo. And if Billy Joe is not careful, I think that he might get knocked out. I have a bet with a colleague anyway that Billy Joe gets knocked out before the 10th round. That's my prediction.
Wow.
Because what I think is that Billy Joe is going to use so much energy using the ring and running around, maybe for like 6 to 7 rounds. And after that, he's going to slow down and he's going to get knocked out, in my own view. It's not conclusive. This is just my view. This is what I'm almost 80% convinced that he'll probably get knocked out.
Very interesting take, bro, from you. Now, looking at the card, okay. Tajagba, are you with us? Still with us?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
So what like before we go to the next one, like, because we're gonna be talking about this card, there are other fights on the card. Like, what do you make of Joe's prediction?
Listen, everything that Maya Joe said, he hit everything on the nail exactly well. But listen, let's not let's not put everything into one single category of Canelo, right? Because we as a fan have the habit of saying, oh my God, this guy is gonna destroy this guy, and then all of a sudden it's the other way around. Something happens, just an anomaly in that fight happens, and it completely changes the dynamic of that fight. Like so many of the fights in the past: Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz. Who can't say it's it's Billy Joe's night, and an anomaly is gonna happen in that fight. Something happens. Uh, um, hold on, please.
Okay, brother. Yeah, man. Like, I'm getting, I'm getting a Ty's point. You know, I didn't finish first. So, Mao Joe, was it
Yes, my brother.
was it just the Canelo weigh-in you saw, or you also saw that of Gomez Duran um, versus Wilson? You also saw David,
I only saw Canelo's.
the two Davis brother. You didn't see that. You didn't see the Sanchez Aguilera weigh-in.
I've not seen any of the other ones because I was very busy yesterday, but I managed to watch Canelo's. Yeah,
Okay. Now, okay, what do you make of the Frank Sanchez?
managed to
You
watch
did you
Canelo.
see the confrontation that took place yesterday between Frank Sanchez and Tyson Fury? What do you make of Tyson Fury? Like, bro, Tyson Fury was everywhere. Like, the guy was everywhere. You would
Let me
think
tell
that
you one thing.
at the end is his promoter.
You see, when I was saying something about, I said something about Billy Joe Saunders probably getting gassed. I don't think that Tyson Fury being around him that much, especially in the last couple of weeks, is a good thing for him. I think it would have been okay if it was around him for like a couple of days to kind of instill some.
Hello?
Some confidence
Oh, there
and
you go.
encouragement and support, because Tyson Fury is trying to take a lot of shine. If you notice, it's literally everywhere. Hello?
Yeah, I think you broke up a bit there.
Hello?
I don't know if it's BBC.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Hello?
Yeah, bro. Ty, continue before my Joe come in. Continue. Ty,
Yeah.
yeah, continue.
Well, yeah, like I was saying, you know, it's us as boxing fans that and something happens that could significant that could just it's just something little that could just change the course of this fight. But you never know when it comes to these kind of fights that everybody's hyping up. It's become such a big hype right now, man. But more power to Canelo if he wins, because he sets the stage for a big fight that might be announced tonight. So I'm excited for it, and Canelo feels good. He looks good. I really hope he's not nothing that's going on in this camp that we don't know about, and he comes in this fight healthy and delivers a stunning performance. Because this guy right now has been absolutely an exciting fighter. It's just a purebred boxing fighter, man. And I can't wait to see what happens tonight, man. I just cannot wait. It's gonna be an eye-opening event.
Thanks, brother. Mao Joe. Continue, bro.
Right. Okay. So, in regarding what Ty said about, obviously with boxing, just a simple something can happen where the fight will completely go against the order, or against the grain, if you know what I mean. So obviously, yeah, that's very possible. That happens a lot. Like Ty said, obviously Joshua Ruiz, Wilder, Fury, and all that. But for me though, when it comes to these fights, at least if you look at those cases, like in the case of Tyson Fury, before fighting Wilder, he had been in there with somebody who is like, he's been in there with a couple of decent fighters. He wasn't in there with Klitschko. Despite the fact that it was a few years before Wilder, there is still that thing of, I've been in there with someone who is greater than you, and I was able to do the business. Then with Ruiz had been in there with Joseph Parker, who is also a good fighter, and the fight was a good fight. So, like you could see, but for me, I've not seen Billy Joe as an in there that I can say, wow. You get what I'm saying? For me, this is a real step up, serious step up. And Canelo is a good fighter, very good fighter. Now, I was talking about Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury being around Billy Joe is a good thing, but being around him for this long, he's been around him for about 3 weeks now, non-stop. I don't think it's a good thing, because it's one thing for you to get motivated, it's another thing for you to get gassed up. And I hope that he's not getting gassed up. You know, I've got the skills, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Because if he gets gassed, and he's just going there overconfident, thinking, oh, 6 years ago, Lara was able to give Canelo problems, because this was 6 years ago. Just imagine how much Canelo has improved since then. Canelo has been in there with Mayweather. Yes, he lost against Mayweather, but do you know how much that is? Do you know what that experience is going to mean for him in a fight like this? Is Canelo good defensively, as good as Mayweather? No. Yes, he lost against Mayweather, but that experience is solid, man. It's a solid experience to have. So for me, I think that as long as he's not getting gassed, as long as he's not thinking, oh, Tyson Fury is here, he's telling me all these things, and I'm going to go in there, I'm going to be so elusive, I'm going to be this, I'm going to even go in there and I'm going to try to put it on him. If he tries that, the fight may not even last a long time at all. And what I've noticed as well, you guys, if you have time at some point, go back and watch, especially the last 3-4 fights, Billy Joe Saunders' fight. He gasses, the guy doesn't, his gas tank is not solid. From like 5-6 rounds, you see him, the guy starts to slow down. He starts to slow down. And if he's slowing down against Canelo, getting tired, man, it's going to be very bad for him. And just imagine all that crowd, 70,000 people booing, and every time Canelo lands a punch or a jab, people are going to be like screaming, and all that will have an effect, man. I think another thing as well, the fact that British fans cannot travel for this fight, is going to have a negative effect. I don't care what anybody says. You're not going to be in there, 70,000 people. Do you know how noisy that is going to be? And they're all booing. They're all like, ooh, anytime he throws a punch or anytime he dodges a punch, he's not going to be encouraged. So I just hope that the guy sticks to his game plan. He doesn't get in there and think that, oh, I'm going to put it on him. Maybe like after landing 1 or 2 jabs on Canelo, thinking, oh, this guy is easy to hit. Canelo might even want to give him like a false sense of security, allowing him to hit him a couple of times. And he might be thinking, oh, wow, okay, this guy is actually not as good as I thought. Let me just put it on him. And then he's just going to be like, wake up to a rude awakening. It's going to be like, wow, what just happened? So for me, as long as he's able to keep his game plan, try to move around, and even with the moving around, he's going to get tired. 12 rounds, 36 minutes. Can he really move around for 12 rounds? Run around the ring? I don't see it. So that was why I predicted that he's going to get knocked out by the 10th round. You know, because my belief is that he'll be able to move around for about 6 to 7 rounds, and after that, he's gonna start getting tired, and that's when Canelo will start putting it on him.
I know, like I'm gonna come from a different angle right now, Yeah. Now the ring, I saw Billy Joe Saunders trainer. Okay, the guy had to go to the ring to really.
To measure it, yeah.
to be secure and to feel secure, like let's say they say, oh, to measure the ring and say, oh, really, it's really 22 feet, so that we don't go in here and think, oh, listen. Now, if like I keep saying, for how long, okay, how long can Billy Saunders continue to run in the ring if he wants to fight that way against Canelo? Maybe for the first 4-5 rounds, right? And then it starts to slow down. And when it starts slowing down, that way Canelo is going to rip the body, By the way, I want to let you know, I want to ask you this question. Now, can Billy Saunders deal with the crowd, the Mexicans who are going to be in the house tonight, and they are going to be chanting, bro, it's going to be wide out there. Like, when Andrews, fighting Chris Arreola in front of 3,000, you saw 3,000 people, you saw what happened there. The fight that broke out, I hope there's no fight there today though. But imagine like the chanting of the crowd of the Mexicans. You know, you keep hearing "Viva Mexico," "Viva" everywhere, bro. Can Billy Joe Saunders deal with that? Deal with that? You know, I mean, what do you make of that? Can he?
Before I even come to that question, BBC, I'm just gonna say this real quick. Another thing you need to consider is that this is the first time that Billy Joe is going to be fighting in a 22-inch ring. He's always fought, I think his max was 20. So you see, Billy Joe thinking he might be able to, this might even be detrimental. This might be detrimental because he's not fought in a ring this big. All right. So you might think that this is going to be of an advantage to him where he's able to move around, but that might just lead him to gassing up. Even like before
Billy Joe said he's going to do the same thing Tyson Fury did to Vladimir Klitschko in Germany, Düsseldorf, to Canelo. He said we'll do the same thing.
Well, I don't believe that, but we'll wait to see. I don't believe that anyway, but we'll see. Talking about the crowd, man. You know, sometimes when Billy Joe has not had that kind of experience before. That's why, you see, for me, when it comes to this kind of thing, experience matters a lot. Experience is a big thing. Billy Joe has not been in a stadium where 70,000 people are chanting. In fact, I don't even want to say chanting against him. Just fight in a stadium with a capacity filled up with 70,000 people. He's never had that experience. He's never had that experience. But as regards Canelo has had that experience. Maybe not 70,000 people, but I think the last one in that same stadium was 58,000 or thereabout. So Canelo knows, he knows how to compose himself under such pressure and such audience, and he would know what to do. He would know how to compose himself. He would know how to stay calm. Will Billy Joe know how to do that? This is going to be the first time. I think Billy Joe is just going to he's going to get in there and he's going to be so surprised how loud, like anytime Canelo throws something, anything, everybody's going to be shouting, Canelo, Viva Mexico, blah, 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 blah. And anytime Billy Joe throws something, they're going to be like, woo, and the noise is going to, you know how stadium is. I'm sure you've been in stadiums many times. Like, the noise doesn't stop. Mentally, is he going to be able to handle it? I don't know. Just because he's never had that experience before, I don't know. With Canelo, at least I know because he's had the experience. With Billy Joe,
our brother just said, Sule Temitope on the live chat says he went to Canada. They were all against him. He won. The crowd was not much like that, though. I want that take from him.
British fans were able to travel to Canada. British fans went to Canada. All right. This was pre-COVID. People were able to travel. At least he was able to get some people cheering him on. Here, he's not going to get anyone cheering him apart from his corner. It's different. It's really different. It's not the same.
Jagbe, what do you make of that? Do you think Billy Joe Saunders can handle the crowd?
I think the Mexican fans are always out, and they always come out in groups, especially in Texas. So I think Billy Joe Saunders has his luck there is him coming there and expecting a lot of British fans. It's gonna be different, especially with the lockdown. I'm not too sure the ins and outs of if they need to be tested before they even come in here. So I think it's gonna. Well, actually no, because in Texas they don't do the COVID. So there's a likely chance Billy Joe might even get some crowd. Even then, I believe some of these British fans are Canelo fans, and they're rooting against Billy Joe Saunders. Because let's be honest, Billy Joe Saunders, his mouth has gotten him trouble as of late. and a lot of fans, they don't really like him as much, So I would
Good
say
point.
he
Good
he
point.
has a boy he has a bunch of British fans rooting against him, and a lot of Canelo fans are going to be rooting for Canelo, and a lot of British fans are going to be rooting for Canelo. So I wouldn't expect you to hear much of a chant on Billy Joe's side.
That means, of course, someone said on the live chat that there is nothing in Texas but Mexicans. That's funny.
You see that point that Kai just made is a really good point. Billy Joe is not a darling of British boxing fans. Only maybe a few hardcore. I think even now the support he's getting is mainly getting the support because of Tyson Fury. So they're kind of extending the love they have for Fury to Billy Joe, because Billy Joe is not popular in the UK. He's been in trouble so many times, so many times. He said and done very stupid things, and because of that, people just dislike him. I mean, go to his Instagram and just see how people on Instagram and Twitter regularly, people just curse him anytime he posts anything. They just curse him. Like last year when he said something about bashing women's face and stuff like that. He's not popular. So that is actually a very good point. So even the few British fans who will be in Texas may not even be supporting him, unfortunately.
Wow, man. That means Billy Joe Saunders just has the support of the gypsies, right? The travelers. And some
Very, very good point. Yes.
UK boxing purists, like because I've noticed Carl Froch, he's not really convinced Billy Joe Saunders beats Canelo though. He's not like he's the only one that I've heard really break it down properly and say, listen, Saunders is a phenomenal fighter, boxer, but Canelo is like too much in a way. Like Canelo is up here, Saunders is like okay a boxer, but other than I don't know, like okay now for example, let's talk about the judges, okay? Tim Saunders, I've said that they are satisfied with the judges and all this stuff. Now, do you think if this fight were to go to distance, I know Canelo is probably gonna try to knock Saunders out. I don't know if Saunders can take more, can absorb a lot of punishment, body like punishment from Canelo, because Canelo loves to go to the body, and he's been sparring with this heavyweight guy, Frank Sanchez, this Cuban heavyweight prospect or contender, who's also going to fight on the undercard as well. Now, if this fight were to go to distance, for example, do you see like Saunders winning it? Can you like envision Saunders winning this fight via unanimous decision or split decision?
I can envision, well, it depends. If it is like night and day, where it is just too obvious that Billy Joe will need to win up to 8 rounds. Very clearly, he will need to win good 8 rounds, and the margin has to be solid. The margin has to be a lot where the judges won't be able to swing it Canelo's way at all, and because obviously the crowd will be cheering Canelo with any little thing he throws, that will or might have, that might influence how the judges score it. That might influence the scoring. So the only way Billy Joe is able to do it is if Billy Joe really, like, if the margin is so much and you just can't. But even at that, I don't know, man. I don't see it. Even at that, man.
Okay, Ty.
It's
okay,
caused
Ty.
some knockdowns or something.
Ty, did you watch the Canelo Lara fight? Have you watched it? The only southpaw that he had problem with?
Yeah.
Like, now, do you think Billy Joe Saunders would try implement Lara's system of fighting to give Canelo problems? I don't know if, listen, the thing is that we all know, you and I know that Billy Joe Saunders doesn't have the power to knock Canelo out. I don't know. Even Callum Smith couldn't even he didn't trouble Canelo. So a big puncher like that, Canelo was not even scared of the guy. Like, I think the only people that can knock Canelo out are, let's say, you might say the cruiserweights and the heavyweights. You know, maybe the light heavyweight as well. Beterbiev. Other than those guys, you know, I'm a light heavyweight. Canelo did stop Sergey Kovalev. You know, a big puncher like that. You know, so he's been sparring with Frank Sanchez. You saw the sparring, right? You saw the sparring. So you saw it didn't phase. Like, the guy was just marching forward like nothing else. Like he didn't care about what's coming back. How strong is Canelo's chin? I mean, how strong is it? Like, does Canelo have an iron chin, or what do you think? Does Canelo has an iron chin?
As of right now, I don't see anybody that could really hurt Canelo. Actually, let me not say that. There might be a couple people that can actually hurt him. But let me say, Canelo has a way of, you know, it's like you get punched hard enough that you could hide how you react to those punches, and Canelo's very good at that. I have to give it to him. He's good at it, especially when he gets hurt. You're not gonna see it in his face. He has that, how do you say it? A poker face, I would say. So people basically, you know, thinking, oh, Canelo, he doesn't get hurt. No, man, Canelo has been hurt, and Canelo does get hurt. He's just his facial expression just won't allow him to show it. You know, it's the way he is. He's mastered that. You know, and that's also a part of boxing. I mean, being able to master that is very critical in a fight, because once your opponent sees, oh, I can't hurt this guy, man. His ability to think and his mentality is gonna change and be like, damn, I'm throwing the best I have at this guy, and he's not going down. What am I gonna do? I guess I'm just gonna, you know, do whatever and try to get this fight over with, because I'm not hurting this guy. So, like Mike Tyson said, you know, boxing is also a mental game, man. So, and Canelo has mastered the hell out of that part. I gotta tell you. I mean, it's coming from a guy who his brother was kidnapped by the cartel, and he was negotiating at the same time, training and fighting his opponent. So you have to really think, you know, Canelo is hurt, but you're not gonna get to see that. You know, the Canelo that was hurt last time was against Lara, and you know, this guy does have a significant amount of power. Not like Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders can't implement the same thing as fucking Lara. If he does, man, it's gonna be such a long night for him, man. I'm sorry, it's gonna be a long night.
Mario Joe, the take on that, bro.
You see, Ty just said it best, man. You know, to be honest, I don't have much to say, because he's literally said it. He's literally taking everything out of my mouth. Because when you look at Canelo, and you see, like I said, all this thing comes down to experience as well. Canelo has had so much experience where even when he's getting punished, the guy just has a poker face. He just keeps the same face, straight face. You don't even know that he's getting punished, and that could be very discouraging though. For if you're in the ring with Canelo and you're giving it your best, and normally you're throwing punches that would have hurt people, or people would have shown that they feel hurt, and this guy just keeps a straight face. You know, you get to a point where you're like, what else do I do? I've thrown my best shots, and this guy is not affected at all. You know, so for me, man, I'm not saying it is impossible for Billy Joe to beat Canelo. I just don't see it. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's impossible. I just don't see. I don't see how. Because even if he outboxes Canelo, he's not going to get the decision. And if he tries to put it on Canelo, man, he's gonna have a terrible night. He's gonna get knocked out, and that is the truth. And another thing to consider as well is that Canelo has moved as high as light heavyweight to fight a guy like Kovalev, and he beat him. So Canelo is strong. 168 for Canelo, I think, is just the perfect weight class for him. It's perfect for him. Billy Joe, how many fights has he had? He's not done so many fights at 168, I don't think. And in the last couple of months, he's used a lot of, he spent a lot of time getting in shape. But Canelo is always in shape though. Always. So guys, I don't see it, unfortunately, and I'm sorry to disappoint, British. If you're in England and you listen to this podcast, I don't know how Billy Joe is able to do this, man.
People are saying on a live chat, RIP Billy Joe Saunders, man. What do you make of that? People are saying RIP to Billy Joe Saunders. Damn it, man. Wow.
Bro, what I do when I'm bored, especially when there is a fight coming up, you see, in a day or a night before the fight, I always like to watch the last couple of fights that the fighters fought before the current one. And I watched Billy Joe's 2-3 fights ago, just the highlights, and I watched Canelo's. Bro, I don't see it. I'm not joking. I don't see it. He's going to get really punished. Lara is a better fighter, in my opinion, when you compare Lara and Billy Joe. And Lara can punch. I don't see it. I really don't. Seriously.
Okay.
I don't see it.
Let's say Billy Joe Saunders used the Floyd Mayweather style. I watched an interview of Tyson Fury saying that where Canelo is just a man. He's been beaten before by Floyd Mayweather. Billy Joe Saunders has been training since he was a youngster and all those stuff. Do you see Billy Joe Saunders trying to imitate Floyd Mayweather? Like, I think they've watched that tape. Ty, do you see that? Do you see him trying to imitate Floyd Mayweather? Like, trying to just copy every Floyd Mayweather style to beat Canelo?
Listen. There's no copying Floyd Mayweather, man. There's only one Floyd Mayweather, and he's very good at what he does. Listen. Like I said, I'm not gonna take anything away from Billy Joe Saunders. I give Billy Joe Saunders, and he's a pure boxer. But Floyd Mayweather is also a pure boxer and a master tactician when it comes to defense, and something Billy Joe Saunders is not as good at. So I can't, like I said, I'm not going to take anything away from Billy Joe Saunders, but Floyd Mayweather is Floyd Mayweather, and he's just very good, an amazing counterpuncher and an excellent defensive fighter. You can't try to compare Floyd Mayweather and Billy Joe Saunders, or try to tell Billy Joe Saunders has to take something away from Floyd Mayweather. The Floyd Mayweather fight with Canelo happened years ago when Canelo was young. Canelo was not in his prime. Canelo was young, and he decided, I want to be tested, and I want to be great. So he went against Floyd Mayweather and lost. And guess what? There's always a victory in when you lose, because you gain something out of it, and Canelo gained something out of that, and I want to say he's following the Floyd Mayweather blueprint when it comes to fighting opponents. I want to say that, but at the same time, he's
word.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
No, continue, bro.
Oh, yeah.
No, go on. I said word. Yeah, go on.
It's a lot of controversies, but at the end of the day, I think Canelo is on the right path, and he's the way he built himself up, and the way his team built him up. He's an excellent fighter, man. And Billy Joe Saunders, listen, Billy Joe Saunders knows what he has to do if he wants to win this fight. It's simple. We all know what he's looking to do, asking for a bigger ring, right? And and there's only one way he can't win this fight. There's no I'm gonna copy anybody's style or anything like that. We've all said that Canelo has problems with people that move around the ring. But if you make a mistake, don't think if you think Canelo's not gonna capitalize off that mistake, he's gonna capitalize off that mistake. Whether it's you being tired, whether it's you being lazy with your jab, and it's you being lazy in general, you're gonna get hurt with that guy, man. You better come in there like you're playing chess. And that's where I'm gonna leave it.
Damn, bro. Wow. My Ojo, come in.
Please don't even talk about Floyd in this. Floyd, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, bro. Continue.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro. Continue.
Hello,
bro. We can hear you.
Can you hear me? All right, cool. Now, okay, Floyd is a different kind of fighter, man. You know, you don't get Floyd you don't get someone like Floyd every 20 years. You get someone like Floyd once in a generation. So so you even try to say that they've been watching his tape and they're going to try to emulate that. I don't even think that it comes close. I don't think that he's going to be able to do that. Floyd is on a different level, and that experience of Canelo being in there with Floyd, you see, these are the kind of fights where the experience will begin to work in Canelo's favor, because he has been in there with somebody who is way better, who is so elusive, somebody who is defensively is the best defensive fighter I have ever seen. I have never ever in my life seen, not even with all due respect to the great Muhammad Ali, not even Muhammad Ali comes close to Floyd in terms of his skills.
Wow, no, bro. Muhammad Ali remain the greatest, bro. Nah.
In my view,
Muhammad Ali paved the way for Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson and the rest, bro. What are you saying?
I'm not talking about paving ways. I'm talking about in terms of defensive skills. That was what I said.
Yeah, I know. Defensive skills, I understand. But, he had to have learned from someone, and, he learned from the greatest. He wouldn't say it, but he learned from the greatest, bro. Continue.
As far as I'm concerned, the guy is on another level when it comes to his defensive skills. But I think like I said, basically, Billy Joe just needs to go in there and stick to his plans. Just go in there. I'm sure there's a game plan. Stick to it. If he's able to stick to his game plan, he might have a chance. He might, but I still don't think that he is going to beat Canelo. If he beats Canelo, I'll be very, very surprised, and I'll be happy for him, to be honest. And I'll be sad to lose 100 euros. But I just don't see it happen.
Okay, times, brother. I want to ask Jagbe this. Jagbe. Now, looking at okay, Canelo is a four-time champion. He's a four-time champion in different weight divisions, right? There are four divisions, 4-weight division champion. Okay, let's say it like that. Now, what is Canelo's limit in terms of weight limit? Do you think Canelo right now takes out Dimitri Bivol? Do you think he beats him? Do you think he beats Artur Beterbiev? And do you see him kind of moving up to the cruiserweight? Because he's already defeated Sergey Kovalev. He knocked him out. I was surprised to see that. What is his weight limit?
Listen, Sergey Kovalev, I like that guy, the Crusher. I like him, but listen, I would like to say his head wasn't there, and I don't want to be led to believe that was Sergey Kovalev the way he got taken out, but Canelo won, and that's what matters. Canelo has fighters in front of him that want to rip his head off. and whether they're glory seekers and whether they're people looking to prove their point. Listen, man, this guy can be great. If he beats um, Demetrius Bivol, I'm just naming these guys because these are the guys that I think that are top notch in their game. Top notch in their game.
How impressed are you with Dimitri Bivol's last performance against Richards?
I wasn't that impressed, but I would say, listen, I'll give these guys because of COVID. Demetrius Bivol hasn't fought since the pandemic started. You know, he was supposed to fight. I think he had a fight lined up with this guy, Beterbiev, but I'm not too sure. But I know it was scrapped, and you know, a whole bunch of stuff happened. And you know, since COVID happened, a lot of these guys, they're not looking their best, and it's them getting in the ring. So I'll give Bivol another just a bit before I toss him in there with Canelo. But if you want to look at any other opponents that's gonna give Canelo problems, there's a likely chance that, you know, someone of Caleb Plant, you know, somebody like him can give Canelo problem. Listen, I'm not saying Caleb Plant can beat Canelo, like really beat him, but anything can happen, man. And his skill is underrated. I believe Caleb Plant's skill is underrated. You know, that's one guy I think that moves around the ring too, and uses his angles to his advantage. But don't let me persuade you. Go watch his fight. I'm just saying, go watch his fight and his skills, and I'm pretty sure he's improved from. Don't even look at his last fight. Just look at how he is in general, and look at let's look at this fight, how Canelo does. If Canelo still has that inkling of a problem with fighters, yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, okay, Canelo has problems with fighters of Billy Joe Saunders' fighting ability. So which means, you know, these guys these guys that can move around the ring are gonna give Canelo problems. So Plant might be one of them. Demetrius Bivol might be one of them. Beterbiev, man, that guy's a puncher, man. So if Beterbiev can punch. He can absolutely do damage. But damn, I think Beterbiev has been knocked down by Usyk. No. Was it Usyk that knocked him down with a body punch, or was he him that beat Usyk with a body punch? I can't remember. But if he decides to fight Canelo's fight, and if Canelo goes to his body, and you know what happens when Canelo goes to the body, the fighter later on in the round, the fighter tends to slow down a bit, and Canelo just destroys them. And I think Canelo's a better fighter than Beterbiev, not a better puncher than Beterbiev, but a skillful fighter than Beterbiev, if that makes sense.
So Canelo's weight limit is light heavyweight, right?
Yeah, I would say
he's a light heavyweight.
So even with that, yeah, he's gonna have a lot of problems. Even with that, I'm just saying. Yeah, I think him going to cruiserweight or light heavyweight is too much for him.
Cruiserweight is gonna be very slow, and there are killers in that division. He's gonna get knocked out, man. I don't see him going that high in weights. Cruiserweight, even light heavyweight, I think is a push, to be honest. And cruiserweight is just going to be too much, you know. Just imagine the likes of Okoli, and I think he'll be too much, you know. He'll be very slow.
In terms of skill, or in terms of what?
In terms of his movement, you know. In terms of his movement, because he's going to need to put on a bit of weight. You get what I'm saying? And his power, is it gonna be the same as the other guys in that division? You know, just imagine someone like Okoli's power, for an example. You know, can he really take Okoli's punches? I think that'd be too much, and it's really short as well. You know, I'm not sure about cruiserweight though. Light heavyweight, Maybe he's done it before, so we can give him a pass there because he's done it before.
But
But
listen, he
cruiserweight,
has
man.
one guy that I think he might get hurt if he fights Canelo. There's a guy called David Benavidez. I wouldn't even listen. That guy, if Canelo goes, that's gonna be another big fight. If Canelo ever decides to fight that guy, that guy's 6 foot. He has the skills. When I talk about skills in that division, he has the skills to hurt Canelo.
Well,
And the
wait,
punches
it
are
doesn't have
good.
it doesn't have the good defense.
I know he fights like the typical
It
Mexican.
doesn't have good defense.
Everybody like.
Benavidez is a monster, but has no defense. His defense is not strong enough. So I believe Canelo beats it. Until maybe if the guy works on his defense and tighten it up a little bit, maybe this time around I'll give it Canelo, man. Canelo can adapt to any style. He's been adapting to styles, man. This guy has been a pro for how many years now, bro? Since he was 15 years old, right? 15 years. Yeah?
Yeah, maybe even younger than that. Yeah, sounds about.
Since he was 15 years as a pro, man, that's crazy. That's mad, man. I mean, you hardly see that nowadays. So it's just like Benavidez, like, how do you see the fight play now, for example? Like, I want to hear your take on that.
But listen, Benavidez is a harder puncher than Canelo. So I don't see Canelo really standing toe to toe and trading with Benavidez. And Benavidez is a way harder puncher than Triple G. Nobody can argue that with me at all. Nobody can argue that with me. Benavidez is a harder puncher than Triple G. And I think Canelo knows wise not to stand in front of Benavidez and decides to trade. What he could do is utilize his defensive skill that he has gotten so much good at that he could probably dig into the body of Benavidez. And that's the only way I think he would probably get to Benavidez and slowing him down in general. Because Benavidez, like you said, his defense is lacking when it comes to him. But there's a possibility. But at the same time, there's a possibility that Benavidez can hurt Canelo. Canelo has been hurt in the past. Let's not forget. But he's very good at it. He's very good at hiding that. But like I said, Canelo has a lot of hard fights in his way. Do I see him winning all of them? Absolutely not. I do not. Listen, man, whether you like it, you're a great boxer or not, eventually you're going to have to take an L, man. You're going to have to.
Why is someone comparing Deontay Wilder to Canelo? Like, in terms of skills, man. Don't compare the guy, man. Canelo he has a more sophisticated skill set than Deontay Wilder. Damn it, man. Wow. This guy's Zami Adam says Saunders is all hype. He's got zero chance of beating Canelo. Just fast. Zero chance? That's crazy, bro. I don't know, man. I don't think so.
No, we
can say zero chance, man.
That's the thing that worries me when people say zero chance. Don't be surprised if something else happens in that ring and you're disappointed. Like, it's like, oh man, what happened? Like, you're gonna be disappointed. A lot of fans are gonna be. Listen, man, I feel like I should stand behind Billy Joe Saunders and say, if this happens, a lot of these Mexican fans are gonna cry, man. They are gonna cry. If Billy Joe Saunders is able to listen, Canelo knows he cannot give up any round to Billy Joe Saunders. I'm not even joking about that. He can't give up any round to Billy Joe Saunders, especially the 5th and the 6th round. He can't give those rounds up at all, because if Billy Joe Saunders takes those rounds, I guarantee you it's a win for Billy Joe Saunders, bro. Unanimous decision.
Ty,
I guarantee it, man. I guarantee
Ty,
it.
can I ask you a real question, BBC, if you don't mind? Also, as I just literally switch on my computer I'm just watching the highlight of Benavidez and Anthony Dirrell. Just watching as we're speaking now. The guy looks like he's punching. I've not really watched him a lot. I've not seen lots of his fight. But this guy is the way he's fighting, though, he's very open. Like, his defense is not good at all.
Yeah, it's not.
Canelo is not going to rip into his body like.
Yeah, and look at it. What's his name? The guy that you just named. um, what's his name again? Anthony Durrell. He's a good fighter, and his skills is pretty good. And if you look at it, he was okay, but then eventually David Benavidez' punches were wearing him down. And eventually David Benavidez, he was able to get the upper hand, and that's all she wrote. Listen, the guy can take a punch, and the guy can take a punch, and he has a serious chin. The only way you can slow down David Benavidez is going to the body. I'm telling you now. I'm telling
But
you.
that's exactly what Canelo would do to him though. Because I'm just watching it, like he's just leaving his body like really, really open, like extremely open. So if you've got someone who knows how to go to the body,
the kid is
he's just
absolutely young. He's young. So, he's taking these punches to the face, like, because he could take them. These type of fighters, they like to take punches to the face because they know they could take them. Eventually, listen, man, the game is hit and not get hit. There's so much your body can take when it comes to this sport. Especially when you start getting older, your body won't allow you to take any more heavy punches. Whether your brain said, your spirit said no, keep going, you can take it. Your body won't allow you to take it, man. That's how it is. That's how the game is, man.
It's quite reckless, man.
Eventually, your body.
I'm watching another fight now.
No, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm watching his fight against highlights versus Love, or Benavidez versus Love. It's quite reckless. I think someone like Canelo might. I don't know. He's very, very reckless, and he leaves himself so open. Like, he gets hits a lot to the body, to the face, everywhere.
Yeah, bro. I want to say thanks to each and every one of you for joining the live chat. For those of you guys who are new to the channel, like and subscribe. I'll be going live later. Later, I'll be going live, talk about this. And like I said yesterday, a lot of you guys who live outside North America and live outside Europe, some of you guys you don't have the correct access to watch the fight. So hit me up on Instagram. I'll see what I do for you guys. Now, thanks. But by the way, first of all, before we leave, man, let's talk about this Frank Sanchez guy. Frank Sanchez, how good is he, bro? Jagbe. Yeah, bro. Okay, I think we lost our brothers. So, okay, Maojo, you still here? Maojo, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So, how good is Frank Sanchez? Before we leave.
I have to be honest with you. I have not really seen the young man. I can't really. I've not even seen any of his fights. I have to be honest. I've seen highlights, but obviously I can't give my take just watching his highlights. I'm going to watch him tonight. I'll see him tonight, and maybe tomorrow when we speak, I might be able to tell you what I think about him.
Okay, Ty, how good is Frank Sanchez? Like, do you know Aguila? This guy is fighting. Do you know the guy, Aguila?
If I'm not mistaken, Aguila has some top opponents, but he was never able to hash it out. I think Samuel Peters is one of them. Let me see.
Samuel Peters is one of them. Yeah, the worst of version though.
Yeah, the worst of version, but Samuel Peters still won. There's another guy that's a notable name on there.
Well, I can't hear you, bro. So listen, guys. For those of you who
Brazil.
Okay, yeah. For those of you who can't watch the fight, don't have access to watch the fight, follow me on Instagram, and DM me there. God bless you all, guys. I have to say, I appreciate each and every one of you for joining the live chat. Follow me on Instagram. The link is on the live chat right here. The link there. Follow me there. And yeah, don't worry. We'll see what I do for you guys. God bless you all, guys. Cheers. Catch you in the next one.
All right, bro. So you guys gonna be on tonight?
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna be on, and it's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna call you very soon, though. Just hold on. Alright, bro.